NBA Finals resumes as the Miami Heat, the Miami Butlers, have shocked the world and extended this series, now only trailing 2-1 as we hit Game 4 tonight. Couple of different storylines to take a look at. First and foremost, it's tough until you officially know Goran Dragic's status, but it looks like Bam Adebayo is going to be back, upgraded to questionable heading into today. So expect Bam to be out there, and that should make a bigger difference. But the reality is, how much can you truly expect Jimmy Butler to duplicate what he did 2 games in a row against, of all teams, the LA Lakers? We also have to ask ourselves, is LeBron James, is Anthony Davis, are the two of them going to play as sloppy as they did, 13 turnovers between the two of them last game? Is that going to happen again? Are you going to see that trend develop? Chances are that neither are going to develop, and things will regress back to the means. I know we called the Lakers on a bigger win. Game 3 didn't happen because Butler refused to go down. I love Jimmy, love rooting for Jimmy, think he's a fantastic story in the finals. But again, asking him to put up a triple-double and outperform everybody, not just LeBron James, not just Anthony Davis, but everybody across the board. You're also getting some big minutes now, extended minutes from bench players, from guys who normally aren't in the starting lineup. And if, in fact, Goran is out, that means you're going to be put in that situation again, and you start to see why guys come off the bench as opposed to start and play big minutes, because when you start to extend how much a guy plays, things don't necessarily keep up as consistent. So from that angle, I think you look at the Lakers minus 7.5, and that's the safe play tonight. I know you can bet it down if you feel comfortable, 6.5. Some people don't mind paying that juice. For me, I'll stay at that 7.5 point line and be okay with it, because I think the bounce back factor is in full effect when it comes to LeBron James and really Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis was told following that loss, and I'm sure he was following it on social media and heard all the big talkers mention it, questioning his finals MVP bid. Well, now it opens up the door for anybody to step in and win this award. Meanwhile, before that game, before Game 3, Anthony Davis had 2 hands gripped around that award. So now I don't see any issue or reason why AD doesn't bounce back in emphatic fashion. So I love the Lakers minus 7.5, and that feeds into the total. Look, if we're talking about the Lakers bouncing back and not turning the ball over nearly as much between James and Davis alone, and Jimmy Butler kind of coming back a little bit, stepping maybe a half step, if you will, maybe even a quarter of a foot back a little bit, it doesn't mean that scoring goes down. I think Miami will be chasing the Lakers probably after the first quarter. And at that point, there will be plenty of opportunities, Tyler Hero and other guys on the Heat, to launch. But really, this is a statement by the Lakers, and I would expect the Lakers come out and do the heavy lifting. You can get it plus 120 at Triple H Sports, over 222. Now, that's a lot of points, I understand. But remember, we're expecting the Lakers to do the heavy lifting here. So go over 222, and also realize that even if the Lakers put up 110 points or 112 points, and barely win this game, which I don't think is going to happen, you're still going to hover around a push at the very least. Like, even if it's low scoring for the Lakers, you're still going to get a lot from Miami, just because they'll be playing from behind and probably cut that big lead in the fourth, or maybe even in the third down, and then you'll see a little bit of a track meet, which is great for that over 222. We gave you the Lakers minus 7.5. Why not double it up and take the Lakers margin of victory 6-10? If you really are confident, especially if you get them at 7. If you took the Lakers minus 7, I told you I got in minus 7.5. That's fine. I'm okay with the hook. But if you took the Lakers minus 7, there's no reason for you to not double up, put another unit down on margin of victory 6-10. That's a pretty good payout as well at plus 380, and definitely worth another look if, in fact, you're confident the Lakers cover this spread. They cover the spread, that margin of victory is going to hover right there, 6-10. It's not going to go over 10. We saw what happens with a double-digit line. Miami had no problem covering that. This is right there around how it's going to finish. 8-9 point victory. Expect that, and that's right there in the middle.